Amaranth is a world in recovery. Only a century ago, the people of Amaranth were starved of divine magics, relying on their own ingenuity and the arcane to create and prosper where the gods were missing. But not all was so straightforward. Necromancy and the twisting of life by the weave has run rampant for millennia. The War of the Dead, a coup attempt by a powerful group of necromantic wizards to take over the powers in Amaranth, was only barely thwarted, and the scars of those battles still mar the landscape. Skeletons and ghouls, wraiths and walking corpses aimlessly wander, seeking sustenance or the chance to capture a new soul, attacking innocents and towns at random. For centuries, the world was in strife, as all the nations fought together to defeat the threat of undeath, and they were losing. Finally, the fall happened. A great asteroid fell into the crystal ocean, and with it, the gods returned. Immediately, they purged the land of the walking dead. Skeletons and zombies immediately destroyed, as the lost souls were restored by the patient, guiding hands of the Raven Queen and Kelemvor. With the return of the gods, the efforts of a group of heroes known as the Wanderers, and the appearance of a group of refugees, the practice of the divine magics were restored, and clerics and paladins of all faiths emerged stronger than ever before. 100 years later, as the landscape has continued its recovery, new and troubling issues arise. A tentative cold war brews between the floating lands of Zephyr and the Arcanatech nation of Ceres, and the world is slowly but certainly being separated to two sides, as new technologies and their abilities seem to outweigh the practical ease yet complexity of old magics. But our story does not look to these countries, or even their problems. In a world filled with stories, Amaranth always has a tale to tell, of life and death, of heroes and villains, but not this time. Instead, this story focuses upon a young tiefling as she walks along the stone paths to Farum, the beginning of the next chapter of her journey. The town of Farum is an interesting sight. As the cobbled path leading to the front gates passes underfoot, you see the trees along the road gently waving in the breeze. It's a beautiful day, and as you approach, the rich smells of bread and fresh fish fill your nose, the sounds of business at the docks resounding throughout the streets ahead of you. You take in the sight of the small town just ahead, and at a distance, Farum is short and stalwart. Its perimeter is guarded with well-built and maintained stone walls, decorated with battlements and machicolations. The gray stone barriers are bastioned with towers, and despite the clear care, signs of damage are still visible. The gates are open, and beyond the gatehouse you spy the peaking towers of the Marigard Academy, fortified just as well as the town itself. You are on the road outside of Farum. What do you do?
Oh, God. Now I have to choose? I have free will?
You do.
Oh, God. Well, I could be basic and just keep going, couldn't I?
You could do that, yes. It is your life. You can do whatever you like.
I'm already ruining the one I have. You've given me the reins to ruin another, and I look forward to it. I'm just going to go straight to the academy.
Okay.
I'm not much for fish myself.
Once you see, as you're approaching the town of Farum, you notice that the large academy, which you can clearly see from here, is built into the walls of the city of Farum. So you head towards the gatehouse, and a few guards don't really bother stopping you. Once you're inside the gates, the town of Farum will always unerringly fill one with anticipation. The bustle of individuals coupled with the sturdy buildings lining the worn, weathered road. The sounds of the docks are louder now, and the calls of wares and fish fill the air. The smell of salt and brine is almost overwhelming the rich scent of freshly baked bread on the air, and the aromas mixed together is maybe a little unpleasant. But from here, you can see the gatehouse in front of the Marigard Academy.
Mm-hmm. I guess I hold my nose because the smell of fish is disgusting. I lived in Alaska, I would know. And I head towards the gatehouse.
I have always wanted to go to Alaska. I'm a little jealous of you right now.
Oh, I can tell you all about that later.
The Marigard Academy is everything that you heard it was. A stout, gray stone keep is sentineled by spires. Arrow-slit windows and protected battlements remark of a history in each of these structures, and the main keep itself, while it only appears to be 2 or 3 stories in height, it's very wide, and you can't see the sides of the structure from here. Trees and archery butts block your view. To the sides of a stone path straight ahead of you, you see the grounds of the academy are well kept, flat stretches of grass that appear tended by either careful hands or maybe by the horses that you can hear chuffing and pacing within a large stable to your right. Short fences and paddocks weave between high trees and boulders throughout the grounds to your left, and some of which show signs of wear or perhaps irresponsible practice. Banners of the Marigard hang from high spires, and they flap lazily in the breeze, the sunlight dancing across crimson fabric. The spires, they bastion the keep at all corners, and they reach high above the walls, even over the city walls. And you see there are large windows in each of the towers. Some of those are flashing with light and emitting heavy amounts of smoke. The sun is high in the sky above you. The keep is beckoning to you, and you find yourself staring at the Marigard Academy. You plan on spending at least a year in here, training and practicing to prove your worth. But to yourself, who knows? And then you are almost startled out of your reverie by a voice.
Oh, God.
Ah, it's a fine day, is it not?
I whip around to look at the person who suddenly startled me from my reverie.
You notice a slim woman is watching you. Velvet of dark blue reaches from the stone path to a black veil, accentuated by pale calfskin gloves that reach beyond her elbows, and her fingers are pressing to a chin that you cannot see. But you do notice pure white eyes peering from underneath the veil, and they look like they're smiling.
Hello? Yes, it's quite a view. I'm not really sure where I'm supposed to go.
Ah, a new hopeful. I admit I would be pleased if it were so. My name is...
Yes, that's me.
Allow me to assist you. It would brighten my day for certain. And she steps up to you.
Yes, please help me. I could use a little direction.
You can feel her beginning to pull you along, and she's dragging you along the stone path. Do you look around, or are you just going to go straight in?
Yeah, I'm looking at everything I can get my eyes on as I am dragged bodily.
Roll me a perception check.
Okay,
the first
explain.
roll of the game. So, if you look at your character sheet, you notice that there are all of your skills neatly organized right down the middle. Look at your perception. There should be a numerical bonus there.
It is a -1.
That's great. Okay, so on roll 20.
I see nothing.
On roll 20, type /roll d20 -1.
And then press enter?
And press enter.
Damn.
There it is.
A 1.
A 1.
Christ. I've never seen anything in my life before. It's really bright out.
The keep is beautiful. The sun is in the sky, and you are, if anything, almost swept off your feet by this kind of aggressive woman trying to pull you towards the keep. If politely, but aggressively.
I love aggressive women. Lead the way.
When she is pushing the door ahead of you, ushering you in, and when you enter the keep, you are greeted with noise and banners. This entry hall is well lit, and you see a number of candles lit along the walls to the sides. Artwork of individuals of all races, each bearing all manner of equipment and expressions in their own portraits, stare at you as if expecting something. And the sounds of conversation fill the entry hall in front of you, and you are immediately presented with a dwarf seated at a wide desk. He is writing something on parchment, and you take a moment to glance him over. Thin spectacles hang on top of a scarred nose, and wiry gray brows furrow underneath thick salt and pepper hair. And you, as he's writing, you hear beads braided into his beard, kind of tapping against the desk. And before you can say anything, Elise, chirps up, "Persh, I have a new one for you. Do treat her well." And she releases your arm, kind of lingering a little as her touch leaves, but then she walks away. And as she's leaving, she says, "Tell Maxwell I sent you."
Oh, okay, thank you very much. What was your name? I didn't catch it.
"Elise," as she says as she's walking away. She seems
I committed to memory.
Okay. The dwarf who she addressed as Persh kind of looks up at you, and he says, "Well, it seems like you've been sorted."
Sorted?
She's handled your affairs.
Maybe. She led me here.
Oh, you need to sign this if she hasn't done that yet.
She has not. I would love to sign this.
He pulls up a ledger, and he's handing you a quill. It says, "Any name you like, but it's what you'll be addressed as for a year."
Oh, okay. So an alias, or, just my name?
That's up to you.
Okay, I'll just put my name.
Okay. You notice the signature above yours is extremely elaborately written to the point where you can't read it.
Honestly, mine is too.
Awesome.
Because of my noble background, I have a very flourishing signature.
Perfect.
The F takes up half the page.
Your family has practiced you in a signature that is unforgeable. And
That's right, absolutely.
Almost annoying when you see it. And Persh kind of looks at it and says, "All right, well, head on to the selection room. It's that door right there." And he points to a door to your left.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. He sits back down and returns to his paperwork.
Okay. I walk to the door he pointed at.
It is not locked, but it is shut. So you push it open, and when you enter the selection room, you are greeted by a slender human man who is reading a book. And he would have slipped your notice, but you heard him speak to you. Clean shaven, with alert eyes that, while he might be smiling, they are not. "Ah, welcome. A prospect, I hope. By all means, take a look at the table and choose by which means you would like to be trained. And if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer. My name is Maxwell, by the way. And you are?"
Oh, I'm Fortunata. Elise told me to tell you that she sent me.
"Ah, then I think I know what you'll be picking. But take a careful choice."
I go to the table and look at whatever it contains.
The table before you is sturdy wooden, and it is laden with equipment. You see from left to right an assortment. Each tool or weapon has a small inscription detailing the training course provided, and the instructor. A two-handed axe lays across the table, shining sharp and new, a haft of well-oiled hickory. The inscription is Barbarian Torin. Next is a well-made flute, its fitting silver and glistening, labeled with Bard, Tally. Then a small ornately crafted crossbow, and then a box of holy symbols, and then one you don't even recognize. And as the list goes on, equipment for any possible training routine, it finally ends with a brass-lined tome labeled Wizard, Tabernacle.
Okay. So I pick one, and it is the course I'm assigned to for the rest of my time here?
You do, yes.
Okay. Well, which one is the one that says Warlock on it?
The one that is labeled Warlock is a little different from the rest of them. It is a blank sheet of parchment with a line for a signature, and beneath it, it's labeled Elise.
Oh, I feel comfortable already. I know her.
Yes.
I think I weigh my options very carefully. Can I touch the barbarian's axe?
It has a good weight to it, but it's well balanced. You think that you could really, absolutely destroy some shields with this thing.
Yeah, well, my strength is an 11, so I don't think I could actually pick it up.
It's only 7 pounds.
Oh, hey, that's heavy for me.
Well, maybe.
I put it back down. Yeah, I think I'm going to turn my attention back to the paper that has only a spot for my very fancy name.
You pick up the parchment, and
Yes.
Maxwell says, I see my hunch might have been correct. You had me startled for a moment.
I like to keep people on their feet.
Yes, I can see why she chose you.
I put my name on the paper.
It vanishes, and Maxwell says, all right, I think you are ready. I just require your payment.
Oh. And what is...
It's 100
that
gold.
exactly? Oh, okay.
You do have that. It was...
One soul.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. I had that prepared.
Awesome. He accepts your gold, and he offers you another much smaller ledger than what Persh had you sign. This one has the same really hard to read signature at the top.
Okay. Oh, hey, we're gonna be classmates. It was another ledger, so I signed it.
Same way. Crazy
Yes.
flourish. Okay.
Only I'm trying to make it a little bit bigger than the one above it.
And so it begins. Okay. He accepts.
My signature is bigger than your signature.
You have something.
I'm compensating.
Of course. You have something to be proud of at this point. And Maxwell says,
Right.
Perfect. I will lead you to your instructor. Unfortunately, the Marigard does not have a map. Much to my chagrin. So, follow me.
Okay. I try very hard to look at the way we're going. I feel like I'm gonna have trouble.
Roll me an intelligence check.
Christ. That's just a regular check, right?
It is a straight intelligence check, so d20 plus your intelligence bonus.
Oh, that's not too bad. Oh, wait. How do I type it again?
d20, or /d20 plus...
You don't have to start rolling?
Yes, you do. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the Discord. /roll d20 plus bonus.
I typed it, but it didn't take it. Wait. Yeah, it says unrecognized command. Am I typing it wrong? Oh, I typed rolling instead of roll. I'm a fool. There we go. 1 second. There.
An 11.
Not great. Not great.
An 11. So, this first foray to the... It's not really a maze, but you notice that every 2 or 3 feet is a door. And unless these are all closets, you're not really certain how that's possible. You take a...
TARDIS.
It's, a bit. Who knows? I don't know. You take a right at the end of the hall, and to the left, there's one more turn, and then there's a door with glass panes in it, but you try and look in them, and the glass is black. And Maxwell says, well, this is your stop.
Thank you. It's a little foreboding, but I'm sure I'll get used to it.
Everybody does. I'll see you around. You are here for a year, after all, and you're not a rogue, so...
Oh, well, okay, thank you.
Of course. And he kind of turns the handle and pushes the door inward, and then he begins to make his leave.
And I enter.
Okay. The room you're entering is remarkably sparse. A broad, wooden expanse of floor stretches across the center of the room, and it is huge, appearing over 100 feet square. You see a collection of musical instruments floating in the back of the room, and they're inanimate, but they're definitely suspended in the air. Windows across the wall have velvet curtains drawn across them, and the room would be dark as crude oil. were it not for torches mounted in sconces along the walls to your sides. At the far end of the wooden floor, you see a hearth with a quiet, mellow fire burning, and at it is the woman, who called herself Elise, sitting with a book. Several other individuals sit on couches nearby her, though the rest of the room is empty. And as you enter, Elise rises, setting the book upon a nearby end table, and approaches you. And you notice that her veil is removed. You can see that she has high cheekbones, white and solid pupilless eyes, pouted lips that quirk in a smile, and the skin of her color is muted steel. Ah, I was hoping you'd find yourself my way. Welcome to the Marigard. I do not believe I caught your name in my excitement.
It's Fortunata Nadajdi. It's a pleasure to meet you.
It is a delight as my own. Again, I am Elise. In case... She bows her head, and she turns to wave her hand in the direction of the room behind her. She says, "This is my, ballroom. And here you shall learn the subtleties of bending that which is lent to us in the ways that can truly be an advantage." And she smiles, a sharp smile that hints at drow fangs, but it's not actually threatening. She says, "So, have you come bearing a guardian? Or were you hoping to pledge yourself to one?"
That's a good question. I know I picked ahead of time, but I didn't actually pick.
So, you said that the patron met you on the road?
Or something along the lines, somewhere between leaving and arriving at the Marigard.
It's up to you.
Presumably.
This is where you choose that.
This could be a situation where it comes to me as after I've arrived here, sensing the opportunity.
That is your choice.
That's the one I choose. Because I don't actually have a name for it. Or a specific choice in that matter. So let's let it find me, shall we?
Okay, so you're hoping to pledge yourself to one. All right.
Yes.
She says,
"Yes.
In that case, you are in good company. And we shall provide good company. It is your duty as a contractor to provide such for your team as well. Think of it as being an ambassador on your assignments. A valuable role. You certainly have the appearance down, but have you the knack?"
What's that supposed to mean?
She kind of, smiles enigmatically at you. And then she holds out her hand. And that contract you signed appears between your fingers, and she looks it over. And she says, "Well, what is important to you, Fortunata?"
What's important to me? I've never asked myself that question before.
Literally. For about 30 minutes you've been alive.
Yeah, exactly. I've literally never asked myself that question. What is important to me? I suppose what's important to me is being remembered.
To leave a legacy. That's a valuable answer, and one that I think you've come to the right place for.
I've made a good decision.
Is that the first of many? I hope so.
I sure do too.
So, she pulls out a book, and she's flipping through pages, and she says, "Well, we are going to have a year together, and you are going to learn from me, and I might learn some things from you. Mostly, we're going to practice what you can know by who selects you, and if you are willing to work with them. But you have the cunning for it. So, your enthusiasm and strength of presence is what first attracted to me, and I think it will pay off in the end."
I sure hope so. I wouldn't want to disappoint you.
I don't want you to disappoint you. After a year of training, you will go through your trial, which is where we will investigate what you have learned, your strengths and weaknesses, and then, should you succeed, you'll receive your assignment. And then you will be able to take part in the fall ceremony, and that is everyone's favorite.
I can't imagine why.
Oh, well.
I literally can't. I don't know anything about it.
Are you new to town?
Yes, you could say that.
Well, they collect all sorts of wild creatures. They lock up the town and they set them loose, and then you and your friends all must go collect certain tokens from them. And if you pay attention well, you won't ever even break a sweat doing so. Not all weapons are at the end of a blade.
That sounds like something to look forward to.
I hope so. So, I will summon Maxwell. He will escort you to your dormitory, and then we shall begin your training.
Of course.
Is there any questions for me?
Now
is the time to ask.
I've never done anything quite like this before, or quite so on my own. Will I be living here?
Yes.
I have a dorm room?
You have
roommates?
A shared dormitory with the other warlocks.
Fun. Will there be an RA?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Sorry, it's from my city.
As a joke.
It's a joke. Yes.
I understand. Jokes, they're quick.
I can't think of anything, but will I be able to find you if I do have a question?
I'll be here.
Here always?
This is my home.
Here, in this room, you don't leave?
I mean, it does not always look like this.
What?
What
does that mean?
Well, a woman has to have her secrets.
Well, I get it, sister. I get it.
If there is a sock on the door, do not come in.
There's a sign on the door?
A sock on the door, do not come in.
A sock on the door. Well, universal code, same goes for my room.
Perfect.
I'm glad we understand each other.
I shall call on you early in the morning. Good luck.
Oh, you never know. Thank you.
Okay, so Maxwell does meet you at the door, and the dorms from the Warlock training area are only like 2 doors down. It's very close.
Oh, nice.
It seems like that was smart of them for convenience's sake. And
especially because I'll get lost.
Roll me a wisdom check.
Oof. You just want to nerf me right from the start, don't you?
No. It's not a save. It's not a save, it's a check.
7. I'm not doing so great on my rolls.
A 7.
Yeah.
You feel tired. Even though you've only just gotten here, you feel wiped out. The journey seems to have really gotten to you.
I've never been so on my own before,
Yeah.
Like dropping a 5-year-old at SeaTac and saying, have at it, figure it out.
And they will always be successful. Or dead. Either one. So you are now looking in your dorm, and the dorm room is pretty big. I would say it's about 80 feet wide, and there are segmented curtains that separate each little spot. But it's basically just a one-person cot in each section. It's not the nicest of places, but it's not bad either. You definitely have everything you need.
This is what my maid's rooms look like at home.
How far you have fallen.
I must say I am a tad disappointed.
Do you have like a bag of your things? So
I do. What do I have?
Did you
I
select?
have clothes. Very nice clothes.
Did you select starting equipment?
I did.
Okay, then you have basically necessities.
Tinder boxes, torch.
Okay.
Got the whole shebang. I could dress very nicely if I wanted to impress someone.
Well, I mean, I suppose you could. I'm sure your armor is like fancy as shit looking too.
Oh, I'm sure. But I want to put on my nice, fancy clothing. I want people to think I'm worth something, because that's the only thing I know how to translate my worth into. It's my outer appearance.
Of course.
So like, getting dressed up for the supermarket is basically what I do. I lay it on thick.
Do you... Roll me another wisdom check as you're getting yourself changed.
Crap. Oops, I can't type. Lost the ability. 4! God.
4. You are... as you're getting changed, you feel yourself getting just more and more tired as moments pass. You feel exhausted. You feel fatigued. You almost get that dizziness and that blackening out at the sides of the vision that's just pure exhaustion.
Maybe I'll save putting my best face on for everybody for tomorrow.
As you're telling yourself that, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Crap. Do I just pass out? Sort of God.
We're about to find out.
A wisdom saving throw?
Yes.
It's okay. It's a +1. That's
Thank goodness.
10.
A 10.
Woohoo.
As you're
Just collapse onto the floor.
as you're telling yourself, maybe I'll. And you just literally you drop to your knees and your head and upper body land on your bed, and you are unconscious.
Am I like half dressed?
Yeah.
Got my like leg through a pair of pants.
You do. Yeah. Pretty much.
Underwear. Great, cool. That'll be a great first impression with the other warlocks.
It is a
They're gonna bully me.
compromising position, to be sure.
God. Was that magic or was I just tired?
Well, as
I guess I don't know.
as you are sleeping, you begin to have a dream.
Oh, I see.
Yes, it was a plot hook all along.
Just pass out with my ass out.
Yeah.
Awesome.
The colorful imagery of purple, pink?
White with blue stripes.
White with blue stripes ass. Perfect. That's
Yeah,
exotic
possibly.
as well. Okay. With your butt out in the air and unconscious.
Basically.
You begin to dream. And it's a dream you don't think you've ever had before, but it is enrapturing.
Wow.
It is nighttime. The moon is full and high in the sky, and you are out of doors. It feels just like it did a few days ago, and you have just left a caravan who had to part ways. You are watching them ride along the road, and a voice from your left calls out to you. And it sounds friendly, but alertive, and says, "Hey."
I look towards the voice.
By the campfire, the caravan just left. You see a figure who's wearing a heavy cloak, and he's got very pale skin. And he's looking up at you, and he's holding a bowl of food, a bowl of soup it looks like. And he says, "Would you happen to have any more?"
I look around the fire for a pot of full soup, hoping to find one.
You do not see any soup.
I check my body for soup.
You conveniently have a backpack of... No, you do not have any soup.
I pour it out of my bag into his bowl. I'm sorry, I don't have any more soup on me at the moment.
Oh, that's all right. A wanderer just gets hungry every now and then.
Is there any food on me of any shape or size, soup or not?
You have some hardtack and ration that you packed for traveling, It's not pleasant, but it's food.
I found some leftovers in my bag. It's all I have. Is that okay?
That'll do.
I hand it to him.
As he takes it, the hardtack slowly but certainly transforms into a rich, freshly baked loaf, and he begins breaking off a piece of it.
I'm pretty impressed with my magical abilities at this moment.
He seems to be as well.
Wow, he was surprised too?
I'm Vicar. Who are you?
My name is Fortunata. It's a pleasure to meet you. I want to look at the loaf in my hand. Can I taste some of it myself?
Yeah.
I eat it.
You take a bite, and it is soft, and it's got that nice crust on it that just crunches a little bit before your teeth get through it, and it is delicious.
Bomb. Can I take a seat beside him by the fire?
Yeah, it's comfortable, and he kind of scoots over for you on the log that he's randomly on. And you say, or not you say, you say whatever the fuck you want to say. He says, I was just passing by, and it's rare to find a friendly fire.
Well, I guess this is my fire. It's as friendly as can be. Are you going to be staying long?
Oh, no, I'm just passing. But
Me too.
You struck me as someone I'd like to talk to.
I get that a lot.
You strike me as someone who could use a hand.
Do I? What do you think I need help with?
Yourself.
What do you mean?
I mean, I could lend you a little favor here and there. All I ask is for the same in return later on.
You mean, as I gave you bread, you give me something in return?
Well, we've broke bread. Now we're due for a friendly conversation. It's back and forth.
Fair. What did you have in mind?
Well, I suppose I should first ask, what are you doing on the road by yourself? Out in the middle of nowhere in Aurelia.
Well, I didn't think I was anymore, but I guess that was a dream. I'm heading somewhere.
Somewhere important?
I think so. I don't know yet. I haven't gotten there.
And are you looking for that place, or are you looking for yourself?
I guess I'm looking for that place to find myself.
In that case, Fortunata, I think you and I could work together.
You think you can help me find me?
I think so.
You seem so sure of yourself. Who are you?
I always am. I'm Vicar, as I've told you.
Is that supposed to mean something to me?
No, but that's my name.
That's fair. I just feel like it can't be so simple.
It always is.
Always so simple?
Always. Anything complex is not worth the time to do.
Can I? I don't know. Can I insight check him?
Absolutely.
Is he lying?
You can absolutely insight check him.
Okay, let's see if my streak continues. That is... Where is my insight? Oh, it's a -1. Cool beans.
Of course it is.
An 11. Christ almighty.
An 11.
Yes.
All right. He seems to be genuine.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
You don't catch any of that nervous timbre to his voice. You think he's being honest with you.
He just wants to help me.
He just wants to help you. He does want something in return later, but he's not said that. He just wants to help you right now.
But that's how I understand the world. You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
That's what he sounds like.
Well, that sounds reasonable to me, Vicar.
Excellent.
Unless you want something I can't give you, do you think that might be possible?
No. I don't think so.
There's that confidence.
If you ever need me, just say my name and I'll be there.
What can you do?
Well, now the question is, what can you do? And he disappears.
Oh shit. Da-da-da-da. I look around. Is he behind me?
No.
Shit.
He's gone.
Did I finalize that deal? I didn't shake his hand.
That does not seem to be of importance. You do feel interesting, though.
I always feel interesting. I'm Fortunata.
Your fingertips have a strange burning sensation at the tips. It's not hot. It's like a cold burning sensation. You try and put them closer to the fire to warm them back up, but it doesn't hurt.
I put them closer.
Well, now they're just getting hot, but you still feel that cold burning sensation at your fingertips.
That's not going away. That's not good. Can I medicine check my fingers for frostbite?
I do not have any. You do see, as you focus on them and you're paying close attention to them, and your mind is thinking about your fingertips, you do catch a wisp of frost vapor move up from the palm of your right hand.
Oh shit, I've never done that before. Can I focus and make it bigger?
Yes, you can. As you focus on it, right nearby, a burst of cold energy flashes out, and a boulder right next to you just cracks and splits with cold energy as ice particles form on it.
Is this what you meant? I yell. Vicar, is this what you meant?
And then, as you said his name, his head, which you remember as just being pale, now it looks a little different. It's a little darker skinned, but it's got thick black hair, kind of appears over your shoulder, and he says, "Yes?"
Oh, fuck. Do I turn around and his whole body's there?
Yeah, he was just looking over your shoulder.
Okay. Oh, wow. All right. Space is a thing, but cool.
You called.
Yes, I did. It's because, well, normally I can't make ice appear out of my hands, and I was a little confused, and I thought maybe you could offer some clarification.
Well, we had an arrangement. You have a lot of things you can do now.
Not just the ice?
If you think about it, I'm sure you can come up with other uses of your talents.
I've never had to think by myself before. I think really hard about it.
What do you think really hard about?
Is there any other part of my body that feels funny? Or is it just my hands?
It's just your hands.
And it only feels cold?
Yeah, just at your fingertips. It's not
I'm
like
having...
a burning cold now. Now that you know what it is, it seems to be lessening.
I'm having trouble, Vicar.
As you say that, your voice is 3 times louder than it normally is.
Whoa.
Keep it down. Keep it down. We don't want to alert the wildlife around here.
Sorry, this is kind of new to me, if you didn't notice.
As you're talking, lights like sparklers are emerging from your mouth.
Wow, that's so cool. Okay, I think I'm getting the picture here. You gave me this. I gesture vaguely. Ice spurting out of my fingers.
I gave you access to some of my magic.
Yes.
All you have to do is will it into being, and I've got you.
And to my understanding, I do something plural for you in exchange?
We'll get to that later. First, let's see what you can do. And then he disappears again.
Please direct me. Oh shit, he's gone again. I need some direction. Oh, he
As
doesn't
soon
answer.
as you say direction, your eyes open. And your face is on the bed.
Oh god. I feel a breeze.
You do. It is gusty, and you are missing pants.
I yank the blanket off my bed and wrap it around myself.
You sufficiently cover yourself. It is... You kind of glance up at the window, and it is black as night outside.
There's nobody in the room?
Yeah, there's people in the room, but someone has drawn the curtain around your bed closed.
Oh god, I'm gonna die of embarrassment later. It's nighttime, as you said.
It is.
I finish undressing carefully, put my pajamas on.
You notice that your hands were kind of clasped around the hem of whatever piece of clothing you were putting on. I don't fucking know. Your call. It was completely frozen.
Oh, cool. Oh, I guess that wasn't a dream, huh?
No. And as you...
I want to make a little spoon.
as you get yourself dressed, you understand things you didn't understand before. You understand how you made your voice that loud. You understand how you made those sparklers appear. You understand this cold energy and how to aim it. You understand your spell list.
Well, Fortunata does.
Yeah.
I am a different story.
Of course. With some study, I'm sure you'll catch up to your character.
Yes! We'll have time, I swear. Wow, okay, I'm sufficiently pleased. More pleased than I have ever been with myself. I didn't think it was possible.
Well, there's always a surprise. You hear
Did I just
voice
hear
in your ear.
Oh, Jesus. Do you hear everything I'm thinking?
No, just the ones you're not careful about.
How do I be careful?
That's for you to find out and me to be entertained by.
Oh, crap. Like eavesdropping. I'm like, well, good night, Vicar, and thanks.
Good night, Fortunata, and thank you.
I don't like the sound of that.
It was a delightful view. Get some rest.
Oh god, people did see.
You don't hear anything.
Oh, crap. Oh, man. I get into bed.
Okay. You still feel the ache of fatigue. You don't think you've gotten a full 8 hours, but that dream was startling, and you can kind of feel the excitement running through you as you have abilities you didn't have only yesterday.
I'm like a kid on Christmas. Wow. Magic.
So, you are now a warlock.
Wow.
And your fiend is named Vicar. So, do you try and go back
And
to
he's
sleep?
suspicious. I do try to go back to sleep.
Roll me a Constitution save.
A save?
A con save.
I need my beauty rest. All I have are my looks.
You right now are very excited, and you have to kind of calm yourself down.
Okay. Con save. Let's see if I can roll above a 10. A 13.
That's something. You managed to... You're still excited. You are very... You never had anything quite like this happen before, and it is... You know, hard to just put that down. But after about an hour, you do. You manage to close your eyes, force it out of your mind, and you get to sleep.
Whoa.
You do not have any more dreams. And when you wake up, you feel rested, and it is morning. Perhaps not as early as you normally would wake up, but it's now morning.
Oh no. Am I late? Did I know I had a class? Do I have a class?
You don't know, but you do notice that there are no other people in the room.
Ah, shit. Get dressed very quickly.
Okay.
But with precision. I want to look good.
Oh. Roll me a, let's see here. Roll me a performance check.
I need to make up for that. I don't think I'll be
It's a charisma-based
my
one.
fellow
so it should
warlocks
be
in the eyes for a solid week. Performance, you say?
Yes.
Oh my god!
You are a bit of a mess.
Oh god, I feel bad. I'm late.
You're pulling
I'm
on
embarrassed.
trousers. You're pulling on the wrong leg. Your shirt ends up backwards.
My hair's a mess.
Your hair is all tangled up in your horns. It is obnoxiously messy. But you kind of get yourself to the point where, okay, I can leave the room.
I just don't look at the mirror. I have to go. I might be late.
Okay. So you hurry and you bustle and you do get to the warlock classroom, the ballroom. And you hear noises. It sounds like music is being played. And you see, as you open the door, several of the other students are changing their form, making themselves look like other things, whether it be other people or other races. And Elise is standing nearby, but her back is to you. And she's watching them, and you hear her calling out things like, "Much smoother! That was sloppy, Vio!"
I would like to very quietly and politely plod up to Elise. Not to interrupt, but eventually catch her attention.
She does not turn to see you, but you hear her say, "Fortunata, welcome. Do not worry, everyone's first morning is not a smooth one. But I hear you've had a visit."
You heard?
"Yes. I always hear."
Oh, warlocks are creepy, man. Okay. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm late? What time do we normally start?
Oh, 2 hours ago.
Oh, alright. I'll remember that. Promise.
I'm sure you will.
What would you have me do?
Well, first, we're just going to have some conversation. And then we're going to go over what it is that you've been gifted with. And then we begin training.
Okay. I smooth my hair out a little bit.
So, over the next year,
Oh, jeez.
Elise trains you. And she basically tells you and teaches you exactly what a warlock does when it works for the Marigard as a contractor. You are an ambassador. You're a diplomat. You're an investigator. And when things get messy, you are a force to be reckoned with at Arranged. You are usually the one your party turns to when they need to convince someone of something. Or if there's a problem with the law in another city. Things like that. You are usually the one they fall on. You are taught the nuances of dealing with other people. And you seem to pick it up well. But I have some skill rolls for you to roll to see exactly how well
great.
you actually
God,
do. So I'd like you to roll me a persuasion check.
Okay. Pray for me. Persuasion. Oh, okay. Okay.
You should be decent.
Oh, damn it.
A 13.
Mm.
Okay. Now I'd like you to roll me a deception check.
I should be decent at lots of things, and here I am not. Deception, you say?
Yes. It turns out the dice don't always like to agree with us.
Mm-mm. Okay, nice. There we go.
18. Okay.
Much better at lying.
I'd also
suits me, then.
like a history check.
A history check.
A history check.
Oof.
Okay. And last, a charisma check. Just a straight charisma. Okay.
14.
So, your training goes pretty smoothly. You make it clear that you understand how to talk to people. You understand how to disarm someone who's upset. And the exercises for that particularly practice were entertaining, as other Warlock students pretended to be pissed off, and you did everything you could to shut them down. All sorts of improv exercises, people talking at each other quickly and you having to come up with reasons for why they're upset or how to make them feel better about what's going on. Empathizing, teaching. You pick it up. You do well. It's only when you have to learn about other societies that you have some trouble.
It's a closed worldview, man.
You generally go across the I'll pick it up as I go mindset when you go to other places. You figure you can ask the questions you need to, and the lessons about world history generally are unimportant to you. That being said, overall your performance is adequate, and at the end of the year, Elise approaches you and she says, "Well, you're ready. At least, I hope you're ready. It is the anniversary."
Oh, I feel ready. How could I not be with you as my teacher?
As flattering as always, it gets you nowhere.
It will with other people.
That is the point. I'm proud of you. So, tomorrow morning, you'll meet me outside. And we will begin your trial.
Okay. I'm gonna kill some stuff, right?
I have no promises.
Okay.
But tonight, get some rest, eat well, make sure you gussy up, and...
Oh. With pleasure.
I will see you then. Until then, you are dismissed, unless you have any final questions for me.
I do. What happens if I don't do well during the trial?
If you should fail your trial, you can submit another year tuition and attempt to retake it again next year.
That sounds reasonable. And something I won't need to do, definitely.
I have utmost faith in you.
No, thank you.
And so, she steps forward, and for the first time since you've met Elise, she gives you a hug.
Oh, I hug her back.
It's a good hug. It's a firm one, and you realize Elise is much stronger than she looks.
No, sure.
And then she releases
snaps
you,
my skull.
and she says, "Have a good night."
You too.
And she begins to walk away toward the other warlocks who are still practicing, and as she's leaving, you hear her shout, "No, that is wrong!" Bit of insight into
Classically.
yeah, what that training was like.
Glad.
So, what are you going to do tonight? Are you going to do any preparation?
Yes, I would like to go back to my room, please.
You can. You are very accustomed to this training quarters. Not the dormitory quarters. And you've seen a few people come and go since you've come here. Most of the people that you started with did not finish their trial. Most of them left before their trial began, or they took their trial, failed, and just left, gave up. 2 others made it, a man named Reeves and a dwarf named Vio.
They saw my butt, didn't they?
Could be. Maybe that's why they stuck around.
I've definitely remembered that. I've go and ask daily.
No one seems to comment on it, but most of the people who know have gone by now. So
Good. Oh, they've carried it with them. Oh,
you can hunt them down in a vengeance quest later.
that's my goal in life. That's going to be my character arc. Do I hunt these
They
bastards
see
down?
my ass. That's the end of them.
It's non-consensual. That's the problem. I didn't want them to see my ass.
And that's the end of their life.
Yes, that's it.
Okay. So,
I go back to my room. I pull my curtains and I sit down on my bed.
okay.
And I say, Vicar,
Yeah.
are you there?
Of course.
Oh, God. Is he in my head or is he visibly
As soon as
in
you
my
say
face?
his name, he always approaches the same way. His head peeks out from behind your shoulder, as if he's right behind you and to the side.
Eventually, I'm going to get the hang of that and I'm going to poke him in the eyes. He pops up.
I look forward to the day.
Can you, face me while we talk?
He does so. He steps out and looks at you.
Thank you.
His skin color is now kind of blue, though his hair is still dark black, but it's very long. It's always different.
Is there a reason why you always look a little different when I see you?
I have things I do in my time, Fortunata.
I just thought maybe it's been a year that we might have gotten to know each other a little better.
You've seen me as I am.
Everything about me, and I feel like I don't get your full story.
Well, maybe one day you'll have it. Not today.
Okay.
Was that all?
No, my trial's tomorrow.
It's been a year already.
Yes. Ever since you popped up.
Well?
I wanted to ask if you thought I was ready.
I think you have shown great promise, and I am excited as to what you do in the future. As far as your readiness for the trial, you're gonna be fine.
You think so?
I know those who sponsored, the others who took theirs, and let's just say they were small fish.
Well, I mean, I think so too. I think I'll have no trouble, but it's always nice to hear a little validation.
He kind of sets his hand on your shoulder, and it's very warm. And he looks at you and he says, "You got this, Fortunata." That's my own verbal blunder, and I apologize. You got this. I'm usually not wrong. I can't say never. The gods like to mess with me on that one, but usually I'm not wrong.
Well, you're probably the only thing in my life I have the utmost faith in at this point, so I guess I'll just take that and run with it.
Music to my ears.
Okay, I guess that's all I wanted from you.
Get some sleep.
We'll see what happens.
As he always does when he thinks you're done talking, the next time you blink, he's gone.
Yeah. You know, half the time you leave before I'm finished, but this time you were right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, fine. I get ready for bed.
Okay. You have a restful night's sleep. It's not perfect. You are excited and worried and nervous about your next day. Go ahead and roll me a charisma saving throw. You have become accustomed, as training with a warlock, to using your own presence of mind to control yourself.
A 12! God damn it!
That's enough.
Oh, thank God.
You fall asleep. You force yourself to settle. You tell yourself, you got this. It's no problem. And sure enough, sleep takes you. And you awaken early morning. You're on time.
Thank God that changed.
Yeah.
Did you say dress up? I think I heard her say dress up.
You asking me?
I'm asking my memory banks, Vicar. It's not always about you.
That's what you think.
But, I mean, quick question. Did she say dress up? Did you hear that?
Is that... I suppose... Yes. And if I'm wrong,
yes.
you know, if I'm wrong, it's always better to err on the side of caution.
That's right, and I'll still look great. So I'm going to do that.
As always, you've got this.
Thank you. I get decked out.
Okay.
For breakfast.
You get dressed up. Go ahead and roll me a performance check.
Yeah, we'll
You're
see
not
what happens.
rushed, so you're going to do much better this time. Actually, roll it with advantage, which means roll it twice and take the higher of the two.
Got it. Performance. Okay, thank God. I never put on a good face for this fucking place. Oh my God, okay.
You get dressed.
Can I use my dice?
No, I'm afraid not.
Damn.
I'm sorry. I know.
I get straight C's all the time. Can't you believe it?
Yeah, sure can. So, you get dressed adequately. It's not a hard check. You just take a little time doing it. It's maybe not as quick as you would have liked, but you're still on time. Ish. So you go ahead, and you know
5 minutes late.
You've been to the town of Ferrum now. You know the way out of the castle. You know Marigard Academy like the back of your hand after a year of wandering its halls and finding your way. The Warlock dorm and study is not far from the main entrance. Before you can leave, there's a knock on your door.
Oh. Yes? I open the door.
It's Persh.
Oh. Hello.
Hello. Just wanted to say good luck. It is your 1 year, is not?
It is? Yes, I'm about to take my trial.
Good luck. Honestly.
Honestly, do you think it will be difficult?
I mean, it's one of the harder ones, but I have faith in you.
Okay, well, I like to hear it. Thank you.
Of course. And he kind of dwarf waddles back over to the front desk.
That was nice of him. Unless he does that to everybody, then I don't feel special at all.
You could ask him.
I ask him.
You do? You ask
I need
him?
to validate. Yes,
says,
I do. Wait.
No, I didn't want you to be late as you had been the first day.
Oh, that was very nice of you, thank you.
I'm
but
a
I
nice
think,
guy.
I think I'll be on time. Yes, I know. I can tell.
Mm-hmm. Go on, then.
I finished getting dressed.
Okay. You get dressed, and it's only a short walk out the door.
Let's go out the door.
Okay. So you head out to where she said to meet you?
Yes.
Okay. So, it's interesting because as you step out, the courtyard is relatively clear. You don't see anybody practicing, and the horses are in their stable. Instead, you see 3 people, and you see another person who's laying on the ground. You don't see Elise. It looks like they're discussing over the person who's laying on the ground.
Can I get a little closer and see if I can tell what attitudes they have? Are they arguing? Are they panicked?
You approach. You notice the man on the ground is on his back, and he has a bloody wound in his chest. He is dead.
Oh,
You
okay.
see 2 men talking with a third, and you recognize the third. A third is the guard who is usually manning the gatehouse at the front of the Marigard. And as he sees you approach, he says, "Hi, you one of them warlocks yet? We could use your hand here."
I hurry over. Yes, how can I help?
Well, I'm having a hard time with this investigation. See, one of these 2 shot this man. I'm trying to sort it out. And the 2 guys kind of look at you a little sheepishly. And the first one to your left says, It wasn't me. I swear it wasn't me. And the second one says, No, it wasn't me either. And the guard turns to you and says, I've been having the same thing out of them all day. I could really use a hand.
Of course. I look back at the 2 people. What do they look like?
So, roll me a investigation check.
To
get a good look
I
at these
can't
2.
wait to fail. Investigation is... Okay. 13.
13. That's not terrible.
Yeah.
It's an average roll. So, you get a good look over them. The first one is a young man. He is holding his side. He's wearing thin leathers with kind of long trousers, and he looks like he has a very worried face. He's got brown hair, pale skin, blue eyes, and he is kind of looking to the body and to the other suspect and to you. The other one is a much older fellow. He's got kind of darkish black to gray hair. He has a full goatee, and he has his arms folded, like he's arms crossed. And he has on his back what looks like a sling.
Mm-hmm.
Like it looks like something that you would hold perhaps a weapon with.
Mm-hmm.
As you look closer, you notice the first guy has a sling as well, but it's on his leg for a much smaller weapon. It's not really a scabbard. They're more like leather straps that hold something in place. Go ahead.
Okay. Keep going.
With that investigation check, you notice that the man who's prone has a single round hole in the middle of his chest. It looks like he was killed either by a firearm or a javelin or something with a singular powerful blow in a narrow hole.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I turn to the two men and I say, how did he die? One of you killed him, how did he die?
You turn to the guard?
Yeah, all three of them. Someone answer me.
The first
What
one,
weapon? When?
The first one to speak, is the man who's holding his side. And he says, I heard a gunshot and something hit me. I came over, I saw him falling down, and I immediately called the guard over.
I turn to the guard. Is that true?
I heard a firearm, something go off, and then I ran over to this guy shouting, and he was standing over this guy. It was kind of hard to tell what was exactly going on. I'm a little new, I'm afraid.
And the third gentleman, how are you?
I was out here hunting. I saw a elk out to the side. It was a little hard to see as the sun was in my eyes. But I took the shot, and it went down. And on my way over to see it, ran into these two.
And they say you, or one of them does, say you killed this man.
I didn't see no man.
Well,
I didn't shoot
the
a
one
man,
right
I
here.
shot an elk.
Oh, I think I know what happened. Can I flip over the body? Can I look at it closely?
Yeah.
Does he look familiar?
Roll me a medicine check.
Maybe in the druid class. Well, Oh, I spelled it wrong. 14.
So, this shot was dead center in the heart. You flip it over, and there is a clean wound that punches all the way through him. You notice that it was from pretty close, because you see some powder marks on the back.
Interesting.
With a 14, you actually notice that the cloth, it looks like it goes into his back and up the front.
The cloth of his clothing?
Yeah. It looks like they pushed into his back and they're pushed out on the front.
Okay. Interesting. The murder mystery continues. Okay, sir who shot the elk. Where is it then?
The elk? It got away. There's blood track over there. It only went down for a moment. I was chasing after it when I ran across these two.
So you shot an animal
I did.
on public property where people might be.
Well, I was out that way toward the back fields. People hunt out there all the time.
And then what are the odds of a man turning up dead with a gunshot wound in the vicinity?
I didn't kill him.
Yeah, I didn't ask you that, though. I asked you, what are the odds?
I don't know. I'm not one of them bankers.
I turned to the man who had
The gunshot wound?
Mm-hmm. And I asked him, were you nearby this area? This body hasn't been moved, correct?
No, this is where he fell.
And you were nearby when you were injured.
Yeah, I was out for a run.
Jogging. Can I look at the wound on your side?
Oh, this thing, I'll be alright, it's nothing.
I just want to see if it's anything similar to the wound body here, just so we know that they're definitely related.
No, it was just a graze, I'll be fine.
Can I inside check him? He's acting very suspicious.
Can.
God damn it, with my -1. 9.
A 9.
Mm-hmm.
He does not seem too concerned about the wound. He doesn't think it's a big deal.
But can I get you to a healer in the vicinity? I can't, in good conscience, let you bleed out just because you.
I can't let him leave, and I patched it a bit. It's not going anywhere.
You patched it.
I did. That's the garden talking.
Can you tell me if it looks like a gunshot wound?
Like a gunshot wound? It could be.
It could be, but you don't know.
No, I don't have a whole lot of medical training. I just slapped a field kit on him.
Crap. That 9 really nerfed me. I don't know what to do with that. I could just demand.
You could.
I could. Oh, man. Sir, I turn to the wounded man.
Yeah?
Now this is less about your comfort and more getting to the bottom of this. I insist you let me see the wound. I don't want to treat you. I will, because it's important. But I need to know that they are similar.
Roll a persuasion check.
Can I bat my eyes?
Yeah, roll a
please. Woohoo. Yes. 1 second. That won't.
We're going to say if we do anything.
Cheesecake.
Dude, I want cheesecake.
Just let me know.
Fuck.
You don't get cheesecake.
Let me know what you want. You can
Just a
Would
plain
it be
piece of
strawberry cheesecake with like whipped cream on it?
You don't get shit, bro. This is not cheesecake.
All right.
Thank you. Yeah, I have cheesecake coming.
It's a rude thing to say.
Oh shit. Ah,
I'm kidding.
never mind. It's your
It's
cheesecakes.
all good.
I was a persuasion.
Yes.
25, natural 20.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
After a moment, he kind of goes, "Oh, all right, just be careful. It's a little sore." And he lifts his arm away, and you have access to his bandage.
His bandage. Ooh.
There is
I'll pull it
there is
out.
a bandage of it. You lift up the bandage to look.
Yes, gently.
Roll me. Nah, you can just see this with that 20. You see that the hole in his side is bigger. There is definitely a hole on his lower right abdomen that punches through, and it is bigger than the hole that is in this guy on the ground.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I gently put the bandages back up and step away. It definitely looks like the same weapon wound. I say out loud.
Okay.
'Cause I'm a liar who lies. So, both of you have slings. What are they for?
The one with the one on his back says, "Oh, that's for my musket. That's, it's not easy to carry around while hunting the whole time."
And the other one, the kid, this guy seems like he's just out of being a kid. He's like maybe early 20s. He says, and no offense, he says, it's for personal defense. When I'm out running, there's always, frickin' monsters and creatures that get away from the Marigard sometimes. It's good to have some defense on you. And you notice the guard is motioning to a musket and what looks like just a flintlock pistol. Very simple, over by the side.
Mm-hmm. And he took them.
He did. He indicates that he disarmed them.
Okay. I go over to the weapons and look at them very carefully. I don't know how much Fortunata knows.
Roll me an investigation check. In a murder mystery like this, you can kind of use your own knowledge as much as your characters.
Yeah, man, you overestimate my knowledge of guns. My family, Alaskan, they know. I don't.
Well, if you don't know something, you can always put it in your character's hands.
Well, it's true. So, that was an investigation check?
Yes.
A 9. She knows as much as I do.
They look of similar design. They're both flintlock. Both the hammers are down. They seem fine. They both. One thing you notice is both of them have flash marks on them from use.
So they were both used recently.
You think so?
This is a little fucked up. I'm asking you, DM.
Yes.
I wanted to test the kind of wounds they'd leave if I just shot the body with them.
I suppose you could do that.
That'd be fucked up.
You could always ask your patron.
Oh,
you are a
I
warlock.
I've never played a warlock before. Hey, Vicar.
Yeah?
Do you hear me? He's behind me again.
Mm-hmm.
Do they see him?
No.
Do I know that they see him?
They don't seem to react.
And I'm just talking to myself like a crazy person. Okay. Vicar.
Hmm?
What's your previous knowledge of firearms?
Is this a trick question?
No, I'm genuinely...
I'm not going to answer that, but I'm familiar.
Okay. Oh, man. I've got a quandary on my hand. 2 men, 2 guns, and a dead body, and I'm not sure which of these guns could leave the wound that's on this body.
What?
I don't know if it would be kind of messed up if I tested them on the fresh meat sack to my left.
I think that is a remarkably pragmatic way of thinking.
I think so too. I mean, he's not going to feel it. Unless he was misdiagnosed. Can I check that guy's pulse?
You already medicine checked him? He's dead.
Okay, good. So he is dead. Got it. Do you think... Okay, pragmatic is good. I like to be pragmatic. I'm going to test out the weapon on this body.
The guard, as you like lean down to pick up one of the weapons, you don't have any powder or a ball.
But they do.
They do.
Don't they? Come on, guys. Help a lady out.
What are you planning here?
This simple logistics test. I need some empirical evidence.
The guard is like, now, hold on. I can't have you shooting up the corpse.
I don't see why not. 2 shots in the leg. Whichever entry wound is the right one.
What if he has a family? That's
why I said the leg. Just low on the leg.
A persuasion check.
I was not meant to play good characters. Persuasion, you say?
Yes.
17.
17. The guard is like looking at you and he's like, oh, it's gonna be my head.
It's the fastest and most effective way of telling who did it.
Only 1 shot, alright?
1 shot each gun. Well, I guess 1 shot should do it. With either gun. Alright, that's fair.
He gives you a ball and a single load's worth of powder.
Which gun did he give me?
You picked up one of them, I think. Which one did you pick up?
I want to pick up the small one.
Okay, you pick up the pistol?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then he gives you the ball appropriate for that pistol.
Uh-huh. I don't know. Can I load it? Do I know how to do it?
Roll an intelligence check.
Mm.
I don't know, Fortunata. Can you load a gun? We'll find out.
Well. Does my 12 do it?
A 12 does. It's not a hard DC. You take a moment to think about it, and you figure, oh, the powder, it explodes. So you put the powder in the barrel first, and then you push the ball down the barrel, and there's a little ramrod underneath the barrel, and you use that to shove it all the way down. You've seen servants for your father do this sort of thing before.
Of course.
And so now you have a flintlock pistol, and it's loaded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mosey on over to the body.
Okay, are you going to shoot him in the leg?
No, I feel like it'd be best to shoot him in because it would be the area that would mimic the type of wound.
Where are you shooting?
More accurately. I'm going to shoot him in the fat of his calf.
Okay, go ahead.
For the bonus, but for the muscles. Do I roll an attack?
Yeah, you'd roll an attack. This would be a d20 plus 2. Okay. No, plus 2.
Plus 2?
It's with advantage because it is a corpse. It's not moving.
Okay, so roll twice. My first roll is an 11. Why can't I type? Another 11.
Okay. Conveniently, that hits as the AC is 10. Go ahead and roll damage.
What's the damage of a
1d10. Plus your dex mod, but you don't have any.
Yes.
So just d10.
5.
5, okay. So, you fire, and the pistol echoes in the distance, the sound bouncing off the walls, and everyone kind of flinches back, and you get some looks from the some people who are practicing off in the distance. You notice that the hole this pistol creates is pretty much identical to what is in his back.
What is it in the back of the corpse?
It's on both sides, but it starts in the back.
So it's a smaller hole.
Yeah.
I turn around. And they look pretty much identical, you said.
They look...
I'm on debate on whether or not I test the second gun or not, but I probably shouldn't. I look at the injured man, and I say, how did you really get that wound?
As I was jogging, I randomly got hit.
I don't like being lied to, sir.
I swear I'm telling the truth.
Can I inside check him and see if he's
Sure.
sweating? My inside. Eventually I'll know these off the top of 13.
13. He is nervous. He might not be lying, but he might not be telling you the whole truth.
Well, can you then explain why the bullet from your gun made a wound nearly identical to the one that killed this man?
He's like scratching his head, and he just says, I don't know, it just wasn't me.
Yeah, that's not going to cut it here. From my examinations of the body, the wound had to have been very close in range, almost point blank, like mine was. And if this man, to my left here, the one who was hunting, shot him, well, that wouldn't make any sense. He said he hit it from far away.
A guy's drops, and Elise is standing in front of you. He says, well, that was not the most orthodox method of solving a mystery, but it was successful. You pass.
Yes! Thank God.
It's clear, based on the bullet wounds, that man's gun was the one that did the killing. The other one was simply a freak accident. Well done.
Thank you.
And the guy who you shot, he sits up.
Oh shit! Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
and he begins casting cure wounds on himself. And he says,
No.
"Oh, it's all right. I get dragged into this all the time.
Are you going to be okay? Can you walk?
I'll be fine. Just a minute." As he's healing himself.
Why did you use a living person for this exercise, Elise?
Well, it's easier.
How did he play dead so well? I checked him.
There are spells.
I guess I should have figured that out.
The guy who
Well.
is apparently a cleric spends a minute or so patching himself, and when he stands up, he looks good as new. But there still appears to be a bullet hole on his chest, which a closer look, and he kind of like messes with it. It's not real.
Oh. I should have stuck my finger in there.
You could have.
Yeah, well, I found my
You
way.
did it. So
I
Elise,
burst down the door.
Elise kind of leads you back in, and she says, "So, congratulations on graduating. I'm proud of you."
Thank you. I hope I lived up to your expectations.
More than you know. The last 4 who attempted this trial always thought it was the musket.
I can't imagine why. If they just tested the guns, they would have known.
Well, I did not think of that solution, to be honest.
Well, how do people usually solve that?
They think it was a hunting accident.
And then that's just it? Do they pass?
No. That's a fail.
Well, but how do people pass without, shooting the
By
bullet?
identifying that, well, you didn't ask for motive.
That's true. Well, I was getting there. That's why I asked why he had a
jump
wound.
straight to the weapon test.
Well, it was fast and practical, was it
I
not?
suppose. Well, unorthodox, it was effective.
I just like to cut the bullshit.
In that case, you have done it well.
What was my speed time on that? Did I win?
This is up there. I shall have to mix it up for the next one.
Tell me if it happens again. I'd love to hear somebody thought the same way I did.
We shall see. Anyway, well done. I'm proud of you. Go ahead.
thought I had
The
to-
rest of the day is yours. You can come back and train some more. You can go get yourself drunk the shit at the tavern in town. It's not my business. And tomorrow you shall receive your assignment.
Okay. Thank you, Elise.
Of course. And she kind of bows her head to you.
Sid walks away.
No, she's right there if you want anything else to say to her.
No. I'm good. Thank you. And I walk down any opposite direction.
Sure.
Just down the hall. I get lost.
Okay. Do you go get yourself, like, dressed up, or do you go relaxed? Do you go...
Oh, I go get dressed up. Are you kidding me?
Okay, so, on that note, you...
God help you if I roll low.
You have completed your trial.
Woohoo!
So, well done. You made it.